Now, again, this is what idiot is calling receding, right? I mean, I keep trying to be nice to him, but he won't let me be nice to him, right? About my hairline, right? See, the hairline, like I told you, ain't changed. It can't change, right? God ain't let it change, right? It's really growing out down, right? See, that's called growing down. Mhm. None of it is going up, I know. Yes, it's wavy and looks a little higher, walking those out, not the thief, at certain points, but that's your imagination after that, right? And you're focusing on my hair, right? When it's been this way, you just used an age to attack it. the hair. Well, just cause men get older, like Dick Clark, I guess, unless he's wearing a wig, which I don't know. But again, not all men necessarily go bald. I think Moses was one of them who didn't. And he would live to 120 and died for his judgment of his own people. Why do you think he died, right? No man is perfect in the sight of the Lord, right? Now, the Muslims are trying to take Hebrew stories and make it their own. 500 years after Jesus. You can't do that. No. That's called plagiarizing, right? Especially when you change the story to where Ishmael and not Isaac was the one sacrificed. You can't do that. It's not your story to change. Muslims, Islam, you can't do that. Now, the reason he picked Isaac over Ishmael is both women had a firstborn son, but one was his wife's slave, and one was his wife. Now, even if your wife gets pregnant after her slave, who do you give the inheritance to if you're Abraham, your wife's son? Your wife's son, not the slave's son, right? Because you were told before each child was conceived, you would have a son in your old age, right? You just had to wait for the promised son, right? It wasn't Ishmael. Sorry, Islamists, right? Nothing personal. But you're plagiarizing the story when you change the story, right? And making it Ishmael and not Isaac. And it's not your story to change. It's the Jews' story to change, or not, right? You can't do that 500 years after Christ either, even though they rejected their own Messiah. That is their stupidity, and that does mean, like every man, they're still bound by the Torah, the law. But the thing about the law is there's supposed to be mercy in it if you follow it. What you're doing is making the law merciless by death being the punishment for certain sins, right? Including murder itself. Is the person murdering has to be murdered. Now, you can adopt the mark of Cain sarcastically, right? Not understanding what it means, and put a chip to buy and sell with, but that still does not make it a cashless society, right? You're using something to keep track of the money, right? If you're doing that, it's not cashless. Something is storing the information, even if it's a computer, right? And marking what you're buying and selling. Cashless also means free, right? You don't have to pay for it at all. You damn sure won't do that, will you? Why do you think you buy and sell? Because you don't have the capacity to freely give your brothers and sisters what they need, and you covet things, right? Like him coveting my hairline, right? you don't really care about or can do anything about, right? Nor me. The difference is I know what my hairline is, right? I know it's been this way since I was 30, by the way. And it started growing on the forehead, a little bit down, especially on the left side. That's all it is, right? It's what you call an optical illusion. And you're making it a delusion because you won't listen to me about my hair. Okay, I can't make you either. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings either if you are having hair issues. But you are trying to hurt mine, right? And all I'm trying to do is bless you instead of curse you, right? And pray your hair don't go bald, even if it did. Get over it if it is, right? All you need is one of the genes to be balding and you're bald. Either there's something different going on with my hair or I didn't get the balding gene from my mother or father, right? Now, my mom ain't bald totally. She might be losing some hair, but that's again because she knows her mother had short hair. She got older and she's walking by sight, not by faith. That's the whole problem with people. They think that means that's that, right? It's not that. And, you don't know everything. You don't know which genes are going to pair up either. That's not your decision, right? When your egg was released in 1969, since I was born by the end of November, okay, in February, Marceline, I came 9 months later, maybe a little early, who knows, but should have been born by at least the 13th, let's say, right? Two. Like, Jonathan was born on the 19th, I was born on the 13th. Me and Daphne met the 15th, right? So that means within 4 days of having sex, she got pregnant, right? And went the full 9 months, right? Which I was confused about with Maribel, right? Because I didn't think she got pregnant until March, right? And so I was a month off, right? Trying to explain that too to her, right? And why I'm more sure about Patrick possibly being mine than Jonathan. I'm giving different information, right? Now, the thing is, I'm giving her a way to tell me if she's lying too, Maribel herself, right? But I'm not the one lying there, right? Now, if she has a child and Scott knows she has a child and I don't, right? And her and Scott knows she has a child, her problem isn't me or Scott, it's who really fathered him, right? And for Patrick's sake, it might be better for me to pretend I don't know either, right? I don't know. But if she is, I don't know, and did get pregnant by me or Scott, right? And that's all I can tell her. Well, you know it was one or the other then, right? That's like I said, you were with the third party before that time trying to get you pregnant or something like Steve, right? And if you're on birth control pills, when are you going to try them? In the middle of the month, right? Or when you were with me in the middle. You're going to try. But the problem is, people don't normally do that to get pregnant on purpose, right? And it might have backfired, right? Now, he cannot be 3 weeks late with Steven and weigh 4 pounds than is there again. Right. Either. Now, even with me, he's 2 weeks late, but unless you're with, again, a fourth party, right? Like Bart or someone else, right? And they gotta be white because Scott believes it could be his until the birth weight, I guess, right? Because either he's divorcing you or you're divorcing him, and you could be lying about that too. And Scott wanted the divorce, not you. That's the only reason you called me. And if you're lying about that, you're lying about everything else. So I don't trust you. Never did. Never did. I'm just trying to make sure you didn't hurt Patrick in case he could be my son. Right? You seem to have the problem with that, not me. And Patrick, if he don't even know, he wouldn't have a problem with it. But I can't tell someone I don't know you could be my son, right? That don't even work, you know. You're making me think Scott's still his father or something, right? And I can't do nothing about that. Nor Scott. And I know that too. I'm not dumb as you want me to be, am I, Mary Bell? Nor was I dumb as Daphne wanted me to be, right? In case part of that was about Jonathan and trying to see if she could abort him, even though it was the third trimester. And you can't. And you can't. After the 15th of August, you couldn't abort him anyway. And I was in Bethesda, Maryland, right, for 2 weeks. Maybe that also helped save my son from my crazy ex-wife, who led me straight into Tennessee, and I have the right to call her crazy because she had an alternative plan and didn't tell me her plan when I got back from Bethesda, right? And see, she didn't even make sure her husband had leave equal to her own to do her plan, right? So in a way, it was a good thing she left me in Tennessee because I still would have had to talk to her about getting back anyway. And by Monday. Even if we made it to Arkansas, I said, well, you know, I got to be back by Monday. I didn't put in for leave or anything, right? I thought we were just coming to get the girl and go home, right? All right. And see, all we would really get to do is sleep Saturday night at her mother's and then drive back and then have to suddenly put the girl either with the Navy's child care services, if they had it, right, at the time, or leave her with Sal and his girlfriend, right? And the girlfriend watched her for them, which exposes her to a third element, by the way, who also could have involved with coaching the girl. See, that's still in my favor, not in Daphne's or anyone else's, right? I'm not trying to do nothing with the girl. I'm on the couch where I'm supposed to be. And I can't coach her to come in there to me. Only someone else can, right? And she don't know better. At 4, if someone's coaching her, she wouldn't even understand what they're doing is coaching her. She might not even remember the coaching either. But I'm the last person who could have done anything like that because Daphne's there the whole time otherwise, right? And like I said, either she was coached to know when Daphne was asleep and come in there, or Daphne's involved with it herself, right? Trying to entrap her own husband to make a case against me for pedophilia. See, if she can prove I'm a pedophile, she might justify the abortion of Jonathan, right? But if she can't, what happens then? She still has to have the child. She has to have the child, right? I'm giving you her motives, right? And why. But she was still too late anyway, So she has to do something criminal, right? To try and get the abortion, but it was still after the 3rd trimester, so you can't legally do that either just because you try to get me in trouble. And I think you knew that too in the end and just went ahead and had him, right? After I moved back to base, right? See, that would also be the only time if she went in there or not I could interact with her anyway, when I'm around her. Though normally during the day, she would be more with her mom. Though, of course, she could come into the living room, watch TV with me during the day. That's not the problem. Her mom's still there, and I'm still not going to molest her. The problem is, if she comes in there at night, I'm going to be more confused about it. I might think she needs to pee or something. Ask the question, did she pee herself, right? And maybe try and spell her to make sure she didn't pee herself. And then she might try to use that as a pedophilia, but it's not either. Now, if she does that, she's manipulating the scene, because again, I would only do that scene once, right? Not more than once. And if I undressed, I would undress away from her, not near her, to see if she could handle taking a shower with me if I felt that she needed a bath, right? Or shower, her shower. But then I would also know, with Daphne there, not to go through with the shower, right? But I'm going through the logical steps anyway, that you would have to do, whether it happened or not, right? See what I mean, right? Only thing is, I know, only if Daphne made a video, which makes it kiddie porn and illegal, very illegal, because she's trying to promote it as sex and not as a honest interaction between the stepdad and the stepdaughter, right? Where the stepdad was more confused about why the girl was being in there in the first place, right? And would never think to record something like that, right? But she would if she's trying to frame me. I know she would. If she's trying to frame me. Right. I'm the only one who wouldn't go there. I would know better. I would know better. And see, whether Sheena likes it or not, or Daphne likes it or not, or the shipmates like it or not, people make mistakes, including you, and condemning me for mine, condemning you for yours, if you don't repent of that condemnation of me. Because see, Sheena committed adultery against me and my wife, if she's not my true wife, the same as I did against her and her husband, if I'm not her true husband, right? It's a two-way street, but the difference is I'm trying to forgive her and say, okay, we made a mistake, we didn't know what we were doing, we were in the heat of the moment, and let it go. And let it go. She don't want to let it go, does she? Someone don't want to let it go. Or Maribel don't want to let it go. No, I do. And they're my female trinity. It was the worst with them than even Rose or Stephanie, which, besides Mary Bell and Daphne, was the two other longest relationships I had that year, from 93 to 96. And